Hello, good ones, my friends, new subscribers, new friends, all those who are supporting me in this channel. You are all welcome. Before we start this video, please, if you are new here, like, share, subscribe, and please write a comment so we can talk about it. So let's jump in. Now let's continue with my story. Today we are going to talk about the Swedish challenge. Yeah, let me start with a sentence. Jag förstår inte, which means I don't understand. Yes, I didn't understand Swedish. Yeah, that's why I'm starting with this sentence. My first steps in Swedish. When I first arrived in Sweden, the silence was louder than the snow. I could hear people talking around me, at the bus stop, in the streets, all around me. But I couldn't understand a single word. I knew how to say hey and tack, but beyond that, I was lost. Every single sign, letter in the post box, every announcement on the tram, well, it felt like a code I couldn't crack. I remember my first trip to the supermarket. I stood in front of the dairy section for what felt like forever, staring at rows of milk, fill milk, gräddfil. I just wanted milk, but I didn't know which one of the was the right kind. I almost left empty-handed. But the kind woman noticed my confusion, and she asked whether I needed help. So the Swedish way of saying that is, behöver du hjälp? Do you need help? It was the first time I realized that even if I didn't speak the language, people could still see me. That same week, I signed up for SFI, Svenska för invandrare. That's the full, meaning for that. SFI, Svenska för invandrare, Swedish for foreigners. It became my lifeline. I met other newcomers there, each with their own stories and struggles, but we were all trying to build a new life in a land where the alphabet sounded different. I took a little notebook everywhere, writing down new words I heard on the tram, also signs, utgång, vagn, petider. Everything was a lesson. I also learned by listening. The TV was always on in the background at home, playing Swedish shows or the news. Even if I didn't understand, bit by bit, words started, sticking. I'd repeat phrases out loud to practice the rhythm, often making my husband laugh, my accent, or the mix-ups. One day I told someone, "You were trött," when I meant you were red. They looked at me strangely. Instead of saying, "I'm afraid," I said, "I'm tired." But the hardest part wasn't the grammar or pronunciation. It was having so much to say and no way to say it. I wanted to share my thoughts, my culture, my opinions, but I didn't yet have the words. The silence was the most painful part. You can imagine the frustration. Still, every little breakthrough felt like winning a marathon. The first time I asked for something at the pharmacy, I was understood. I almost cried. The first time I gave directions to someone else in Swedish, I felt I belonged. One of my biggest challenges was watching Swedish TV. I didn't want to just sit there and not understand what they were saying. So I started watching with lexicon beside me. Yes, an actual dictionary. I would pause the show, look up words, write down, and try to follow the story. It was slow, painful slow, but it helped little by little. Things started getting better and making sense. I wasn't alone. My husband was so patient with me. He would repeat words, explain things, and encourage me to keep going. My Finnish neighbor was wonderful, a real blessing. She was God sent. She had also moved to Sweden and knew exactly what I was going through. She gave me tips, she had me on, and reminded me, don't worry, one day it will click. I carried a notebook everywhere I went, writing down signs, words I heard, or things I saw in the store, like milk, which means milk, gräddfil, vagn. Everything was a lesson. And of course, I enrolled in SFI, Svenska för invandrare. That class gave me confidence. It was a room full of people just like me, trying to find their way in the Swedish society. We made mistakes, but no one judged us. All we wanted is to learn the language. It took a while before I stopped translating every sentence in my head, but one day it happened and I could understand full conversations. I could speak without fear, even started making jokes in Swedish, which is a big thing here. That day, when my friends laughed, really laughed, not at me, but with me, something changed. I felt seen, I felt understood. For the first time, I wasn't just trying to belong in Sweden. I already did. But just when I thought I would finally found my place, something happened that almost made me give it all up. Something happened